Yo, a lot of people been wanting me to do YouTube videos. I got a lot of old equipment, been using it since the late 90s. So if all goes well on this one, good response, I definitely make more. But for this one, I'm gonna customize the MPC 2000XL with this red that I got. I designed the layout and stuff myself from MPC stuff, black pads, and later we'll talk about the sound quality too, so you check it out. But I got to replace a few switches too while I got it open, so I'm gonna replace some switches and go from there. All right, so we back, flip the colors, went with the red and black for my logo right there. Yeah, and the one thing I want everybody to kind of understand with this ain't about me showing off an MPC or nothing like that. It's everything in life is about self-expression, and I think that's what gets lost in everybody trying to be producers and just do. And even if you're a writer, you should try to be yourself. So once you use a device and there's opportunities to get something that can reflect you, it should motivate you and inspire you to make, more music that reflects you, and so you become a part of the music. So I went with something that represents me. There's a lot into this. People don't really know too much about it, and I kind of keep it that way. On some, for those who know what sigils are, that's what that is. But that's, or in lay terms, my logo. But anyway, but it's all about self-expression, and that's what everything should be about. So I advise everybody to start customizing and making their equipment reflect them, so it should motivate you. Because I know as soon as I put all this in, because I had to actually spray paint these black buttons, I even spray paint these red ones even though they was already red, but I did all of that. And so I did all of this, and once I got done, I couldn't wait to put it back together. I should have waited a little bit longer because I kind of messed up some of the paint on it. But long story short, I immediately want to work out on it, and that's what it's ultimately all about. It's something that should motivate you to work. And again, I went with what I like, so that's what I went with. And I got the skin or the cover from MPC stuff. So check them out online. They do great work, and all this looks good. There's a few little mistakes that I made. It wasn't nothing on their part. It was all on me. I was in a rush to do it, and I sweat easy, so it was a little hard for me to get this stuff to lay exactly where it needed to be. I got a few crinkles in here, but it ain't even about that. It's about the machine and how you work with it. So with that being said, I wanted to also speak on the MPC 2000XL. It kind of got a bad rap as far as it's supposed not as good as the MPC 3000 or not as classic as the 60. And they say because it doesn't sound as warm. That's not really true to a certain extent. You gotta understand something. Those producers that know from back then what this machine meant and why it was set out or put out, it was primarily because at the time sample rates were so low. So by the time they got to this, people wanted a cleaner sounding machine. That's what it was about. It wasn't the fact that it was brighter wasn't a bad thing. We had been dealing with dirty samples and samples that weren't as clean. You had a lot of people, I know especially here in Memphis, where people recording on tapes and all of that. So once you got to this sounded clean and punchy. Not to be mistaken with thin, which is where I think the MPC 4000 kind of lost a little bit of steam. Because if you look at the specs, MPC 4000, it's the shit. No doubt as far as the specs and the numbers. But the problem with it is, to me, it was a little bit thinner sounding. And this right here, this machine was like the last, it was at the top of the stake for me as far as where I would go with sound. And then I didn't know this, but now that I've gotten way more into music now and understanding harmonics and music and all of that, humans can hear no higher than 20-bit. So once you get a machine like the MPC 4000, any of these newer machines like Native Instruments and all of them and the new MPCs, they're at 24-bit, which is higher than human hearing, but it gives you more clarity. That's the reason why sounds and music sounds a lot thinner now, because it's more transparent, and those machines provide that. If you like that sound, it's cool. It's definitely a place for it, especially in modern music, but that's the reason why those machines sound so clean. But this one here, to me, the brightness and the punchiness in it, if you want a clean sounding, warm analog sound, to me, this machine was it. Then it's so small, you can put this on your lap, you know, and it's easy, the buttons, the pads, all this stuff, just real easy to use. I mean, you know, everything's comfortable, you know, but again, I made this little quick track. Yeah, just threw that together, you know, just messing around real quick. You know, it got all the classic functions. Let's see, stuff I like to just mess with. We'll put like the pitch fade real quick. It's pretty cool, but if you hear the clarity and the cleanness from those highs, anybody, you know, and myself, I have an MPC 60, the MPC 62, but I would always put my drums and whatnot, if I'm doing more of a hip hop or a dirtier sounding track, or some vintage, like some old Memphis shit that I'm trying to do, and say you want to do something clean, you know, I would definitely always put my hi-hats on the MPC 2000XL. So, but normally I put my kick, you know, on the MPC 60, but it sounds good in here. You know, you could always roll off the higher end frequencies with the low pass. But yeah, so this right here, definitely one of my favorite drum machines. But to have it customized, I mean that's kind of, you know, that's what I like. So like I say, it inspired me to just immediately start jumping on it. So I advise anybody who got any piece of equipment to, you know, go ahead and get it wrapped and, you know, get it to where you like it, and it should motivate you and stimulate you to make more music. But the key in all of this is you should be yourself, and your music should reflect you. You shouldn't always copy music that other people are doing. You can take the sounds and things like that, but you know, it should be a part of you. I shouldn't hear somebody else's song structure in your music. Like myself now, I'm more into playing and all of that, but I try to put me in it, and I do the things that I like to do. So with that being said, you know, flipped it, looked good to me, and just remember, you know, the MPC 2000XL is not a thin sound, it's just clean. And I'll say one more thing about it. When you play a hi-hat on this, it's clean. If you go back to the 60, you put on a pair of headphones, you'll hear a little bit of noise. The signal to noise ratio was good on here. But again, at the time, we wanted cleaner sounding machines. So understand, it wasn't about MPC dropping the ball. And not to mention, before I even got this, when I first heard about it, this one dude told me, if you're gonna get an MPC, get the MPC 2000 or 2000XL, because it's like the MPC for dummies. And the sequencing, he said that because the sequencing is so easy and simple, and it makes sense. And it's real easy to make a beat. You can just get on this and just make a beat quick. But like I say, don't sleep on the MPC. If you have a chance to get one, get one. And even if you have to get one in the condition of my original one, I did a lot of work underneath to get a lot of these buttons to work. I think it's worth it. So yeah, but I hope y'all appreciate the info that I gave, but also if there's any comments, leave them. Let me know. I can make some more videos. I got other equipment, got a lot of tips and tricks. I got one that could really change the workflow on this and the MPC 60. If people want to see that, I can make that, and it's real easy to do to where you don't have to do so much chopping inside of the drum machine. And it's easy to load stereo files on the MPC. Super easy, quick to do, and it should speed up the process of you making songs. That's ultimately what it's about. You can spend all night getting your chops together inside the thing, then by the time you're done, you may have to go somewhere, or you don't really feel like making a beat. I know an easy way to do it, and it takes no time. So let me know what y'all think.